Donald J. Trump has won the U.S. presidency, crossing the 270 electoral vote mark. Trump made a victory speech before a jubilant crowd at his campaign headquarters in Florida, thanking American voters for the strong mandate.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends in this incredible movement.
Trump's speech capped his stunning political comeback to secure a second term as the 47th President of the United States of America. Despite predictions in 2021 that his political career has come to an end, Trump has defied the odds, riding a wave of conservative support to return to the White House. It's only the second time that anyone has ever returned to the White House after previously losing a presidential re-election bid. Results, which are still pouring in, indicate that Trump has defeated Democrat Kamala Harris, securing a decisive mandate and proving many pollsters wrong.
And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But
Trump's impressive victories for the Republicans in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, 3 of the 7 critical swing states, underscored his broad appeal across diverse voter groups. Trump had a whack of praise for his deputy, J.D. Vance, and his family, who joined him on the podium. He also thanked Elon Musk, applauding the tech leader's accomplishments with SpaceX, while noting the surge in Tesla stocks.
Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. Was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great.
Well, let's talk to our correspondent, Susan Terani, who's joining us live from New York. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. The surprise and jubilant phase is over. We are now talking about the reality and going forward mandate by Donald Trump. Do you think Trump has changed?
I'm not sure if Trump needed to change, considering the fact that he just won a landslide in most swing states, and also among the popular vote, which a Republican hadn't done in more than a decade, almost 2 decades. And also the Republicans won the Senate, and we'll have to see what happens with the House. But, you know, I'm not sure what kind of change would the American people expect, considering the fact that he ran his campaign very effectively, probably one of the best campaigns in recent history, that, you know, brought a lot of voters to the polls. Even Kamala Harris voters, you know, they were very passionate about this. So how Trump will change, he said himself that he knows better now who to trust in Washington, D.C. He had an experience once. He was very green the first time that he was elected. He even admitted that. So he goes in with more experience. He said he'll surround himself with different people. But in terms of policy, I think the American people voted for the Trump that they didn't want to change.
Susan, the reason why I asked about if Trump has changed is because of his victory speech. He did indicate that this was unlike Trump. He was talking about, you know, unifying the United States of America, bringing back democracy and, you know, freedom of the United States. he sounded different from his past, campaign rhetoric.
Yeah, campaignings are very nasty, and you can agree that this was one of the nastiest ones. I mean, you had the other side comparing him to Adolf Hitler, calling him a fascist, calling him a dictator. And so, and being Trump that he is, he wasn't going to sit around and take that. But I think now that he's seen that, he won with such a landslide, I think we should take his word for it. He said that he's going to be president for all Americans. I know every victorious president here said this. We heard that with Joe Biden, too, when he got elected in 2020. That didn't really work out the way that it had to. The country continued to be divisive. The question is whether or not those who don't agree with Trump will embrace him as a legitimate president and will sort of wear their American jerseys and not look so much towards blue and red and say that, okay, this time around, this is our president, let's get to the problems. We'll have to see those surprises and those kind of commentary from Donald Trump. It is just who he is. But ultimately, I think the real test is whether or not he'll be able to govern effectively without threats of impeachment and, lawsuits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Our correspondent Sidhan Sibol is now joining us live from outside the White House in Washington, D.C. Sidhan Sibol is joining Susan Terani and myself. Sidhan Sibol, good to see you. Are there celebrations still going on?
Well, Eric, it was a whole night of celebration here, and essentially it is just around 10 local time. I do expect it to be a long day, a day which will see a lot of celebration. But before I talk further, I will show you the glimpse of White House where I am standing. And of course, there are only tourists present here right now. And of course, the fences as well. The fences were put up before the elections were to start. But essentially, what everyone today is waiting for is more comments from the Republican side. Even though Donald Trump has made his victory speech in Florida, something that was closely watched, every word was closely talked about, discussed, and what will be the repercussions not only here in America but globally as well. But in terms of Kamala Harris, what next for Kamala Harris? She hasn't conceded defeat. It is 10 a.m. in the morning. Will she concede defeat in next 2 hours, 3 hours? Is something that everyone will be closely watching. It has been a long night for everyone, whether it's the Donald Trump camp, whether it's the Kamala Harris camp, or whether it's those who were celebrating all throughout the night here in Washington and other parts of the United States. But essentially, when it comes to the mood on the ground, it is a divided house. Country is divided as it was before election. I spoke to many of the people on the ground. Many have been very happy that Donald Trump is back again in the building behind me. That's White House. But there are others who are disappointed. They said that they hope that Donald Trump also will be president of those people who haven't voted for him. He will be president for all the Americans.
All right, that is Sidhan Sibol outside the White House in Washington, D.C. Susan Terani, listening to what Sidhan has just said, he's mentioned Kamala Harris, and there are so many Democrats and Americans who are waiting for her speech. If she will be able to make that speech, there are some who are saying that they hope that she will be gracious enough to accept defeat.
Yeah, that's so accurate, Eric. I'm so happy that you mentioned that. But also, I'm looking online with some of her supporters. I was just going through some social media posts. They're a little upset that she somewhat abandoned them at Howard University last night, didn't even have an acknowledgement for them, even if it was like via video, not even in person. And then the question also remains that why hasn't she really talked to her supporters until now? Where is she? And has she left them hanging, basically? Again, if she's going to miss this mark, it might not bode well. I don't know how much of it will matter in her political career, but we'll have to wait and see if she's gracious enough. The Democrats claim that they will accept the results of the elections gracefully, and I think that they will, considering the fact that the margins were just so high. I mean, this was not like a very close election where you can sort of wait it out or wait for courts to decide. It's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear. We'll have to leave it at that. I've been talking to our correspondent, Susan Terani in New York and Siran Sibol in Washington, D.C. Thank you both. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.